Hello friends. In this video we are going to explain the Joker movie because on the 4th of October the second Joker movie, Joker Folie à deux, is coming out. So if you want to watch that movie, make sure you watch this video so you can understand it better. Let's get started, but before that please subscribe so we can reach 1,000 subscribers. This story begins in Gotham City, where Arthur lives with his elderly mother, Penny. Because of her old age, Arthur has to take great care of her. We then see Arthur playing the role of a clown, performing as one to earn his livelihood. One day, while performing at a place, some kids steal his signboard. Arthur chases them, but after running for a while, the kids beat him up and break his board. After being beaten badly, Arthur goes to a free clinic for treatment, where we find out that he has a disorder that causes him to laugh uncontrollably in any situation. He goes to the clinic to get treatment for this disorder. After getting his medicine, Arthur returns home, where we see that his financial situation isn't good. But it's not just him. Many people in Gotham City are suffering from the same thing. We learn that Arthur's mother, Penny, had spent many years working for the richest man in the city, Thomas Wayne. Because of this, she used to write him letters, hoping that he would help them out of their troubles. However, she never received a reply to any of her letters. Next, we see a live TV show in Gotham that is very popular, hosted by Franklin, whom Arthur admires. Arthur once got a chance to meet his idol, Franklin, on that show. The next morning, we see Arthur getting ready for work with his colleagues. One of his colleagues, Randall, gives him a gun for self-defense, knowing what the kids had done to him. Arthur goes to meet his boss, who asks him to bring back the board the kids had stolen and broken, or else the cost will be deducted from his salary. Hearing this, Arthur becomes very angry and after finishing work returns to his apartment. On his way, he meets his neighbor Sophie, who has just moved in next door. That night, while playing with his new gun, Arthur accidentally fires a shot inside his apartment, scaring himself. Later, we see Arthur following Sophie, going wherever she goes. That night, Sophie comes to Arthur's apartment and asks if he was following her earlier. Arthur tells her the truth. This starts a conversation between them, and Arthur invites her to his stand-up comedy show. The next morning, Arthur is performing for children in a hospital when his gun accidentally falls out of his pocket. Everyone sees the gun, and Arthur's boss is not happy about it. His boss tells him that Randall claimed Arthur had bought the gun from him last week, which leads to Arthur getting fired. Arthur, still wearing his clown makeup, rides the train back home, feeling dejected. On the train, he witnesses 3 men harassing a woman. Due to his disorder, Arthur starts laughing uncontrollably, which draws the attention of the 3 men. They stop bothering the woman and start beating Arthur instead. Arthur pulls out his gun and shoots 2 of the men, and then chases the 3rd one down and shoots him too. After this, Arthur locks himself in a restroom and begins dancing, feeling very happy after killing those men. The next morning, the news of the 3 men's deaths is all over the TV, and we see Thomas Wayne appear on TV because those men worked for his company. The next day, Arthur goes to get his medication, but the clinic informs him that due to budget cuts, the center is closing, meaning Arthur will no longer get his medicine for free. He decides to forget his troubles and performs at his stand-up comedy show, where Sophie was also invited. However, during his performance, he starts laughing uncontrollably and cannot stop, turning the show into a disaster. After this, Arthur returns home and, for the first time, reads one of his mother Penny's letters to Thomas Wayne. He learns from the letter that Thomas Wayne is his real father, which makes Arthur very angry at his mother. The next day, Arthur goes to meet Thomas Wayne at his house. There he meets Bruce Wayne, Thomas's son, and performs some tricks to entertain him. However, a butler arrives and asks Arthur to leave, threatening to call the police if he doesn't. Arthur returns home to find that his mother has suffered an attack and is being taken to the hospital. At the hospital, we see Sophie there to support Arthur. While at the hospital, Arthur sees Franklin making fun of his stand-up performance on TV, which fills him with anger. Meanwhile, news of the Joker who killed 3 men is spreading across Gotham, and many people are starting to support the Joker, protesting against the wealthy like Thomas Wayne. Arthur is delighted to see this. Later, Arthur arrives at a movie theater where many people are protesting in Joker masks. Inside the theater, Thomas Wayne is attending an event. Arthur sneaks in and confronts Thomas, claiming to be his son. Thomas denies this and tells Arthur that his mother, Penny, has been mentally unstable for a long time and that Arthur is not her biological son, but was adopted. Arthur doesn't believe him. Confused, Arthur visits a state hospital the next day to find out the truth about his mother's mental health. He reads her medical history and learns that what Thomas said was true. He was adopted, and his mother's boyfriend used to beat them. One time, the boyfriend hit Arthur so hard that it caused brain damage, leading to the disorder that makes him laugh uncontrollably. Arthur then goes to Sophie's apartment, but Sophie reacts as if Arthur is a stranger. It is then that Arthur realizes that all the moments he thought he had spent with Sophie were nothing more than delusions created by his own mind. The next day, Arthur goes to the hospital to visit his mother, Penny, but in a fit of rage, he smothers her to death. After this, Arthur feels happier than ever and goes home to prepare for his appearance on Franklin's show. He puts on his Joker makeup, dyes his hair green, and gets ready. At that moment, his former colleagues Randall and Gary visit him, but Arthur suddenly attacks Randall and brutally kills him, sparing Gary because he had never made fun of him. Arthur leaves his apartment dancing joyfully. Soon 2 police officers start following him, but Arthur evades them by boarding a train filled with people wearing Joker masks. As the officers try to control the crowd, one of them accidentally shoots someone, leading to chaos. The crowd beats the officers to death and Arthur watches, pleased, before escaping. Arthur then meets Franklin and requests to be introduced as Joker on the show, a name Franklin had mockingly used in previous episodes. When Arthur is finally called on stage, he begins speaking politely, but soon grows angrier. He confesses on live TV that he was the one who killed the 3 men on the train. Arthur then tells Franklin that no one in the city is good, and everyone makes fun of others, including Franklin, who had mocked him too. When Franklin threatens to call the police, Arthur shoots him on live TV, killing him instantly. Chaos erupts in the studio, and the news of Franklin's murder quickly spreads across Gotham. The police soon arrest Arthur. While being transported in a police car, Arthur sees that the entire city is in riots because of him. People are looting stores, setting public property on fire, and causing destruction everywhere, but this sight brings Arthur joy. Suddenly, an ambulance crashes into the police car and a group of people pulls Arthur out of the wreckage. The crowd surrounds him, treating him like a hero. Meanwhile, Thomas Wayne, along with his wife and son, Bruce, is trying to leave the city, but they are confronted by some rioters who shoot and kill Thomas and his wife. Bruce, who will later become Batman, witnesses his parents' murder. On the other hand, Arthur regains consciousness and sees the crowd supporting him. He starts dancing in celebration, fully transforming into the Joker. In the final scene of the movie, we see Arthur in a hospital during a therapy session. He laughs uncontrollably and soon after kills the therapist and escapes. So that was the entire story of Joker. Let us know in the comments how you liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.